Why is it that it's so hard to maintain a healthy lifestyle? We are looking at wellness in a warped reality, the warped reality that is presented to us about what health and wellness is. And in that reality, we are never going to be able to find the health and wellness that we are looking for.
I'm here outside in my gorgeous Tanzanian garden.
Good morning and welcome. I'm sitting here drinking my favorite hot chocolate that I make each morning in my blender. Can be made raw. Recipes here on the channel, and getting ready to write in my journal. This is the way I like to start my day as much as possible. I love listening to the birds and people walking by and just reveling in the peace and nature and freedom around me. I want to share with you some things that I've been thinking about for the last 6 months or so. I did a presentation back in November here at a conference.
There's a conversation going on in there, and it just made me think about wellness and health and about liberation and what does health got to do with it. And Tina Turner came into my mind. What's love got to do with it? So what's health got to do with this liberation, this thing that we're doing? And I'm very honored to be a part of this conversation here today. And it speaks to my heart. And the work that I'm doing both with the community here as well as with my coaching clients, and what I see when I'm working with people and how much all these other things interfere with their ability to actually embody the fullness of their health and wellness.
The idea behind it was, if we're thinking about liberation, this day and age, there's so much going on, a lot of things to stress us out. I mean, things that have been going wrong for a long time, but right now it's really coming to a boiling point, and many people are thinking about what to do. As we think about liberation and creating the life, the world, the society, the communities that are healthy for us all, it really got me to think about what's wellness got to do with it. And so today, I'd like to take you on a little mind game as we think about shifting our paradigms from what's the norm right now about wellness, about health, and come to a different place and thinking about it from a whole and healthy perspective. Up the road here a bit is Arusha National Park. And when you go into Arusha National Park, there is a life-size statue of an elephant. And it immediately brought to mind to me when I saw it, and as I got up close to it, this story of the six blind men and the elephant. I don't know, maybe you've heard of this story before. It's a Indian or Buddhist or some, kind of teaching story. And in this story, there's a village, and in the village there are six blind men. And they keep hearing stories about this elephant that the Sultan has. Sultan, I guess it's an Indian story. And in this story, sometimes they're talking about how the elephant carries the Sultan's daughter. Other times they're talking about the elephant getting angry and, maybe ramaging through the fields. Different aspects of this elephant's behavior. And so they're trying to decide amongst them, seeing as how they're blind and they've never seen an elephant, what the heck is an elephant? And so they have these arguments, on a regular basis, and the villagers are getting tired of hearing their arguments. And so the Sultan says, bring them here to the palace where they can see for themselves, find out for themselves what is an elephant. So they're circling around the elephant, and the first elephant comes up to the side of the elephant, and he's touching this big roundish barrelish kind of thing, and he's, an elephant is like a giant barrel or maybe like a wall. And the second blind man is by the leg, and he's got his arms around this, and he says, no, you're wrong. An elephant is like a tree trunk. It's planted firmly in the ground. It's very sturdy and strong. The third blind man comes to got the tusks, and he's running his hands down the tusk. He says, no, 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 you're both wrong. It's smooth and long, and he has a sharp point on it. An elephant is like a spear. That's what it is. It's like a spear. The next blind man is feeling the trunk, and he says, you're all wrong. The trunk is it's like a snake. Look, it's moving around, and it's like kind of wrapping around my arm. An elephant is like a snake. The fifth blind man is feeling the elephant's ear, this big flat ear, and says, no, an elephant is like a fan, or a big leaf. It flaps around. That's what an elephant is. An elephant is like a leaf. And the sixth blind man goes around to the back and has the elephant's tail. And he says, no, you are all wrong. An elephant is like a thick rope, and it's got some hairy tassels at the end of it. That is what an elephant is like. And so the six blind men, they continue their argument, arguing back and forth. No, an elephant is like a snake. No, it's like a barrel. No, it's like a tree trunk. And the Sultan says, stop this nonsense. You are all wrong, and yet you are all right. An elephant is like a wall, a barrel. An elephant is like a trunk, parts of the elephant, and on and on. And I like to think that maybe those six blind men went back to the elephant and began to each walk around and touch all the parts of the elephant to see how a complete elephant is like, all the different parts, that it's in some ways like a tree trunk, in some ways like a big barrel, in some ways like a snake. And it's all of these parts playing together that make the elephant. This society, our modern day world, looks at health and wellness like the six blind men. We think, oh, health and wellness is about preventive medicine, or it's about getting the right nutrients. It's about, exercising, or there's just like, you'll find somebody who says, this is it. You want to live to a ripe old age. You need to be making sure you're getting this particular creatine. I don't know, just what that's the thing, but whatever nutrient, this is the thing. And we look at, mental health as one box. We look at spiritual health as another box. We look at physical health as another. We look at aging as something separate. The cardiologist knows the heart, maybe not so much about the rest. The eye doctor knows the eyes, maybe not so much about what the cardiologist knows. And so we're looking at health and wellness like the blind men. And the result is most people don't really know the full picture of what it requires to be healthy, or why it is that they can't seem to stick to their healthy diet and lifestyle. It's an interlocking, interconnected system where each and every single part is required to be in healthy working order in order for us to be healthy individuals, in order for our community to be healthy, in order for our families to be healthy, in order for us to be healthy parents or employees or business people. It's all connected. And I believe that you can look at this in very many different ways. Each individual piece has its own six blind men and an elephant story. For instance, nutrition. An apple, you have probably heard the saying that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And there's some truth to that. Eating apples and other fruits and healthy things like that are a very vital part of becoming healthy, of staying healthy, of aging well, living to a ripe old age. And so the six blind men approach to that would be to say, okay, this apple, what's in this apple? We're going to take it apart. Oh, it's the red color. It's whatever it makes it red. No, no, no. It's the vitamin C. No, it's, so they study the minutia of it. Then they try to extract it out and put it in a pill. Here you go. Take this. Without realizing that this apple is more than just those things. And it's the interaction of all those things. And it ignores the fact that our bodies play an intelligent and important role in this process as well. Let's say that you've just had the flu. I had the flu a couple of weeks ago. I'm more likely to get sick if I overextended myself, and I had several weeks of really tight schedule, a lot of repairs here. My house was shagala all messed up. Kilikitu, everything was all just crazy. At the end of all of that, I ended up coming down with the flu. And so eating an apple like this at that time, my body says, okay, we are phlegmy, we're just exhausted, and maybe actually we don't need to eat that much. But what I do need from this apple is whatever it is. I need this particular kind of vitamin C, or I don't know what, my body knows. So I eat this apple and it will take what it needs from the apple and maybe store the other things for a later time, or just, pass that on through. If on the other hand, I've just run a marathon and my body's needs are entirely different. I've depleted all of my energy stores running this marathon. I have, my electrolytes might be off. And so then eating this apple, my body says, oh, thank goodness. Here's the things we need. And it can take the parts of the apple, put it together in a way that will address the exact needs that it has at that time. Whereas if I just pop a pill with the vitamin C or the vitamin whatever XYZ, then that may not be at all what my body needs. So eating the whole thing, looking at nutrition from the whole thing, that we need to be eating whole foods and that we need to be eating a variety of whole foods. Very often the natural medicine, alternative medicine operates from that same blind man and the elephant perspective rather than a whole and healthy perspective. Whole foods versus supplements is an example of how we have been looking at nutrition like the six blind men. Some of the other topics that I will be talking about over the course of time is about identity, self-acceptance, being your natural wild self versus a caged self, about finding belonging. Where do I belong? Who do I belong to? And how do I stay true to myself in this effed up world? We can look at the interconnectedness of all parts of our life and what role nature plays into it, and what's our place in the grander scheme of things. Are we just just an elephant tusk or an elephant trunk, or do we have a bigger role to play? Are we a part of the whole elephant of this world that we live in, this universe that we live in? We can look at whole and healthy and what does it require. We can look at the various stages of our life and our identity and what do we need. How do we grow and develop and age in a healthy way? We can look at why it is that it is so dang hard to stay true to your whole and healthy commitments to yourself. Part of that elephant, the whole and healthy elephant, is the things that we believe about ourselves and what we deserve. Many times when I'm working with coaching clients, they know what to do. They know how they need to eat. They know the things that they need to stop doing, and yet somehow they just can't seem to do it. You can reverse your disease, and if you don't also address those underlying beliefs that you're a failure, that you can never do anything right, it can be difficult to stick to the things you want to do. You can say, I'm going to exercise every day, and then when each day comes, I don't feel like it, I don't want to, because you haven't dealt with those inner wounds. And so this is part of our whole and healthiness. And so a lot of the work that I do is helping to uncover those false beliefs, those beliefs from our inner child, messages we heard. Um, I know I learned early on that I'm not smart, which is not true at all, but school made me feel stupid. And that it's not safe to make a mistake, to say something wrong. I had a teacher that would walk around behind us. She'd be looking over at your paper, or if you're, answering a question, and if you did something wrong, she would knock you on the head with her knuckles or pinch the back of your neck. I don't remember a whole lot about my schooling, but I sure remember Mrs. Schroeder and that feeling. This was first grade, and I still remember that feeling of her standing behind me and being afraid of saying something wrong. So these are the things that can keep us, even now. I'm 67. These are the things that can keep us stuck in old patterns that aren't healthy, that aren't true. These are the things that are also part of our whole and healthy elephant. So these are some of the things that have been going on around in my head. One of the reasons I haven't posted a while is I've been so many things, thinking about things and not really sure of what direction to go in. There are so many things, and I would love to hear from you. In what ways have you seen the Six Blind Men versus a holistic approach to wellness or life? What questions do you have? Where have you seen that dynamic? Leave a comment below or a question below. Let's start a conversation. That's it for today. I'm going to finish my breakfast and my hot chocolate. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Kwaheri. Goodbye.